look up another guide. No, it is not Fate. I am not doing that. I don't have very much I need to do with that at the moment. But we are going to cover the ultimate SAO guide. That's right. What I'm pretty much going to be doing is going to be going over stuff for new players as well as old returning players for tips, tricks, and all the above. Now, the reason why I'm making this is pretty simple. On pretty much everything I went to look up, so everything that I've done is I had to go and Google up. Meaning, like, what I'm saying is to understand or figure something out, I had to do some heavy digging to figure it out. And while trying to figure it out, I found a lot of, how to put it, a lot of clickbait, a lot of shit that you will click that doesn't give you the answers you are looking for. And this is kind of the problem with SAO, like guides and shit like that, is because everyone just wants to go and pretty much be like, this is how you guys do it, boom, to do something, get it done. It's like, you literally didn't do jack shit, nothing to help. You literally just showed me something that's irrelevant. Like, they're not complete busts, but they don't thoroughly show you and tell you what you need to do. Now, when I call this the ultimate guide, I'm not going to be going through every mission, everything, but I'm going to explain everything in detail. I will do it for anyone who's pretty much stepped away from the game or who just started the game. Because people who stepped away from the game, I've done it once, and there was a huge gap when I did. And when I came back, I'm combing through and I'm looking at my I'm going through looking at my equipment, and I'm like, I'm going through and I'm like, how do I, what? I'm pretty much dumbfounded. I'm like, how's, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I do this? Or, this MMO is pretty big. Not only trying to learn the controls again, it can be a little of a pain in the ass, to be honest. But for the most part, most of this, it could be a bit of a handful to re-get into if you haven't played for a while. When I stopped playing, I jumped back in for like 2-3 years after I started playing. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I started it back in 2022. So, believe me guys, this game is still relevant. Like, I'm not even joking, there are still people who play this game. So when you're in like online lobbies, yes, people will join you if you leave it open and you're playing long enough. But without further ado, let me get into this. Alright, so when you start the game, you're going to go through the tutorial teaching you the basics of run and gun. I'm not going to get into the defined details of how to play with each of your weapons, or like, well, not with like each of your weapons, but I'm not going to get into defined detail about the controls. That's what the tutorial is for. This is where I'm gonna go, and for the beginners of the game, make sure to read. Big tip, read. Everything does come down to reading and reading. Maybe 2-3 times to understand it. But pretty much, when you start the game, you are going to go through the tutorial, and you'll find your ARFSys unit. Mine is standing right next to me. Ain't she such a cutie? Speaking of which, I need to swap her outfit out, because I want her looking pretty. Thank you, doll. There we go, she's looking very pretty today. But pretty much, you'll go and be given the ARFSys unit, which will be a companion you could get. Excuse me. And then, she will be considered, quote, quote, friends. She technically isn't a friend, but she's always gonna be there for you. Without, like, there will be a portion, and a very small portion, where she will not be able to come and, join you in base game, DLC-wise, similar she will be without you for a little bit. But otherwise, a part of your companion set, you could have up to 3 companions in game, which is depending on who you choose, they're down here. Then your character's at the top, so there's always going to be a chance for a 4-player squad. The more players you get, the harder the game actually does become, because since you have so many players backing you, the enemies actually become tougher. But if you're running alone, it can be tough because you can't be revived, and the enemies are still gonna, they're gonna be tough still because you're alone. So no matter what you do, the enemies will be tough. But you could come around and swap your teammates out. Each teammate that you could assign yourself all have their benefits, for say. They all have certain perks to use. So like when you go and come over, you're obviously going to go to your, you pause your game, you're in your menu, and you're going to quickly want to explore your menu, get used to it. Your first tab is going to be a character tab telling you it'll allow you to customize you and your orifices. For the sake of this, I'm going to just keep calling her Doll, and again, I'm going to continue calling myself Retro. But you could continuously go on and, customize these two. Then you got your quest tab. Your main quest would be the main quest of that storyline, whether it be DLC or, it'd be main story, which would go all the way down to like down here. Since I've already beat this and rewind time, my game is missing quests up here, but it's up there. And then it goes down to DLC wise and all that other stuff. There are some side quests, like quest that's actually, like what's considered side quest. That's main quest, but it's really just, yeah, it is main quest. Then you got yourself some sub quests you could go through. These are not important. Like, these you do not need to complete. They are just here for extra XP, and I do recommend getting them. Now, you could also use these to get rewards, to grind out stuff, to not have to go and spend all day with it. And then, like I said, you got some more stuff, which is sitting here that you could just, go through. Now, your hunting quests, they are pretty much just, the bounty hunting. You'll be given a target, take them out, call it a day. That's it. This is for a trophy on PlayStation, and it gives you some costumes, designs. Unique enemies is pretty much, once again, find unique enemies. They'll tell you a specific enemy, find them and kill them. And then treasure, you have to go around the maps finding these specific items from loot chests. They always spawn on the same loot chests, so if you want to go online to look it up and find it, go for it. I can't pull them out again. I'm not gonna go pull them out. There are some decent actual guides out there. They're quiet. They don't have any instructions. And yeah, there's very few people who actually give adequate instructions, so. But after your quest, you could see your map, and you could kind of go around to each of these different areas. PvP is where you find the hunting, PvE is unique enemy, and then treasure is obviously your treasure quests. Now, a way you could also simplify this is there's a screen terminal in your house, or in your home. You could click this and you'll get your sub, hunting, and unique, as well as treasure, as well as your shop and your gadget shop. Pretty simple stuff so far. Nothing you won't figure out. Like, there's nothing in this game that you can't figure out. This game's also pretty simple once you get into it. It's just, it could be a handful and it could be a headache to get into this game when you first start. And that's why I'm doing this. But moving on, then you got your community, where this is actually going to start to get not complicated, but this is where it starts really pushing it. into define details of how to play the game and your playstyle. Like I said, each character has their own separate things. As you can tell, at the left of Doll's hand, or in the left side, you'll see the name of Doll, Kureha, Zilliqa, Basalt Joe, etc., etc., etc. And pretty much they'll have their level right next to them, and they have that little symbol for say. Like Doll has her star, this has a shield, a hexagon, I'm pretty sure that's a hexagon. It has a shape, and they all have different symbols. As you can tell, Doll and Asuna share the same symbol. This symbol represents the class you hold. I will also be going into main games and fights to show off what each of these symbols actually mean, so you can get a better idea of what you're going to be getting into. But pretty much when you click them in friends list, it will pull up messages. This is kind of just like a way to, keep up. It's for the story. Even during, when you're even going through, like, I think even DLCs, they'll even pop up stuff like this. And then, they'll just, message you. It's just fun little stuff, nothing too important. So, I'm going to go and teach you guys a little bit something too. Here's something that's actually relatively important and can be crucial to figuring out who you want on your team. Yeah, you could just be like, I want Asuna and Kirito. No, don't just choose someone because don't do what I do. You could, like, if you're actually serious and you actually need to pass something and you're having a hard-ass time doing it, if you click square on your character, like on Kureha, she will be welding specific stats, specific, attribute points, equipment, accessories. And her health and affinity rank is all displayed here. On place, it tells you at the bottom right, as you can see, it says square for display stats, and it'll go and show you the differences between them. In the second tab, because you'll see it says 2 out of 5 in the upper right, in the upper part of my box here, it says 2 out of 5, meaning this is showing another page. This is showing her skills for her first weapon, her second. Here is her gadget set and her 2 accessories. On the 5th page, it shows you her weapon proficiency. Weapon proficiency makes them stronger in welding a particular type of weapon and makes them better at it. The higher the proficiency, the stronger the gun actually. Fun fact, that's what weapon proficiency does, is it does in fact increase the strength of whatever weapon and weapon type you're using, and how you perform, how you're doing with it. So the higher that is, the better you use a particular weapon with. If you want them to really outshine, you're gonna have to grind out their proficiency. But honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I personally have no problem with it. And the weapon proficiency is decent, but they only use 2 weapons because they will never swap from their 2 weapons. It's like the Hobo is an SMG, where the weapon 2 is a rocket launcher. That's just kind of how it goes. But for the example here, as you can see, accessory 1 and 2 is there. But if I go down to Zilliqa, it's mysteriously missing. There is a reason for that. It's not that she's any higher or better than Zilliqa, because they have the same affinity rank, all that. The reason why they have that is called memory chip change. This allows me to fully customize my players, and I can put anything I would like on them. Any stats, anything. And it will permanently be on them until I take it off. I will get into that a little later, and how to do that, and so it doesn't get too confusing. But I will be right back. Hey, yo, I'm coming. Idea. Hi there, Cammy girl. Oh, my precious girl. My precious little girl. Come here. Get your fluffy ass up here. Let's set your ass down. So you can end a truth problem. But like I was saying though, here we're going to touch up something that's going to be important to know later down the road. That people have done a piss poor job explaining, or the people who do explain it make little to no sense, and they don't fully explain it. So, to go and put this simply, each character has an affinity rank. Affinity rank is necessarily not completely important, but it is. It does, in my opinion, reflect a different amount. It reflects, how well a character plays with your character, how much of a team you guys are, for say. So with this being said, we got, you got to, is one of those things where it's like, yeah. So what affinity rank does is, number one, the higher it is, the more likely your team is to support you, pick you up throughout combat. Not by too much of a difference, but there is a more common trend that they will try to go and risk their life to come and get you, and would be faster about it, or they'd just be like, I just feel since mine's been up, they've been a lot more supportive, and they've been running around a lot more for a better, better teamwork is installed there. Next, and most importantly, the one thing I can guarantee the affinity rank does is it gets you the true ending to the game, which is going to take a lot of grinding. Now, as you can see, there's a giant roster of players you will have to get through. And when literally everyone likes to say you have to get it with everyone, and they tell you all the shit, is like, bruh, one guy says one thing, another guy says something else. I got the true ending. I could tell you exactly how to do it with no problems, no questions asked. It'll go completely smoothly through, and you will have more than enough time to spare. So, for what you're going to want to do is, you want to get Doll, Kureha, Zelka, Basalt Joe. Itsuki is also in this list, but he's not appearing on my board because I'm in the DLC. Here, let me swap out to main game, because I forgot to go and swap it out. Sue me. Alright. There we are. Swapping out the main game here. Main game is, during main game, for your true ending, oh, excuse me. For the true ending, what you're going to want to do is get all five of those players. You must, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, they have to be up at 100% affinity rank level 4. If they are not up at this point, so the first 5 on your list must be max cap. There are players like, no, they could be level 475. Max cap that bitch. Don't risk it. Don't even think about it. Percentages, no, fuck that. 100% across the board on the first 5. You need it 100%. From Kirito all the way down to a Gale. Not to mention, you will also need Premier, Straya, Philia, and Rain to continue this, and you need them to be affinity rank 3. Now, I also say, fuck those guys, affinity rank 4 they asses. because it's a lot easier, and I like guaranteeing they will be up there. So I'm gonna just tell you down straight, everyone who is not DLC in this game, affinity rank for their asses. The DLC characters consist of Sachi, Iliji, Yuna, 7. I'm not even sure how to fucking know. Pretty Boy here, Alice, Livier, Clarence, Shirley, Diane, Musketeer X, Yamakaze, they are all DLC. M, Pitahori, Faka, and then Len are also DLC characters. You do not need these characters to continue down the line. You will not need them for your DLC or for your true ending. But that is all that this tab shows you for the friends tab. So with memory chips, I'm gonna just show you this here and now, since I'm on this tab. So I'm going to want to go and customize Asuna here. Exchange my memory chips. You already have something on you. Actually, no, good. You do have something on you. I don't like... Never mind, that's why I have it on you. Alright, let's try Silica. Alright, so as you can see, both our memory chips are plain. You're going to want to go and click your memory chip here. And you know what, you're like, I wouldn't mind having, fuck it, I wouldn't mind having, metals acquired 1+, and then blaze resistance for 2.9+. You'll click this, and you'll just transforming, and then bam. Now, this will turn into that quality, as well as take the memory chips that you just had. Now, as you can see, my stylish mustache is now a white, a common, and is just there for cosmetical purposes. And you could go and just keep doing this, and now that you did this, now your support unit or your player now has this, and they will be running better stats. Now, this is an important fact, or an important piece to quickly leveling up. You will need, I will go up to SBC Glocken. In order to level up much quicker in this game now, you need to have this option unlocked. You must go and have your ability to go and buy that. Like, you must obtain this. If you do not obtain it, then it's going to make leveling up slower. So, in order to buy yourself the change memory chip, why is my board changed? Hold the fuck up. Whatever. In order to get the change memory chip, you must go to Argo right here. She's a fun little bitch. Alright. So what you're gonna need is, she's gonna be like, you need something, you'd like to exchange information. Shut the fuck up. She'd like to go and exchange information. You could go through the game and sell off information regarding your artifice unit, all that other stuff, and be completely fine and not lose nothing. It's just bonus cash. You will also have the ability to buy something called weapon arts from her. Something that I cannot do because I already own it, and I'm not going to go and fucking start a new damn thing to show you, because it's a pain in the ass. But the central idea, though, is that she will sell this along with weapon arts, as well as accessory colognes, or your colognes, which all have different effects. Since I'm already out here, I will explain what each of these does. The accessory, pretty much, when you're out in the field and you're fighting enemies, you're more likely to find legendaries on, you'll find legendary weapons more often. So instead of getting a, let's say, a blue sword, you'll get a legendary sword. For your barrel, this will increase your memory chips, instead of them being like 2%, it'll most likely be 10%. It'll be stronger and better less grinding is what it will do. And then your chip clone will give you better accessories. She is actually relatively useful. Although it says 3 million, it's actually relatively easy to get that money back from her because it also increases the drop rate of accessories and guns altogether. Come with me. Since I'm already out in the S, actually no, I'll get to that later. Alright, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna head back. Actually, I'm gonna stay in the SBC Glock and our new change scenery. But pretty much, once you get that, it will allow you to buy off your change memory chips. And to level up quickly, you're gonna want to go and take whoever you want to throw in your team. If you have the DLC characters, they will always be with you for main game story. So, I recommend, if you want to go and have, for the story wise, if you want to level up quickly and kind of jump ahead, I would recommend choosing anyone from Len to M, Yamakatsu to Sachi, because all of these players are DLC, and you cannot, like, they will not take them, like, you will be able to fight with them in your party. There was only, like, maybe 2 sections of the game, best, where you cannot choose to take them with you. But what you want to do is, here is a hashtag life hack here. I'm going to pull up my friends list once more, and you will notice everyone's level is 293. Like, all across the board, my game has them all at 273 or 293. Coincidence? I don't think so. Fun fact, actually, everyone shares XP bars. Now watch this. Oops. Let's go and pop this up. I'm going to come out now, and I'm going to go to my status here. This is where we're gonna get down knee deep. This is where you can control each of your, your select stats to really boost up your character, to make yourself a regrettable nightmare and a pain in the ass to deal with. But pretty much, if you look at the right side bottom of my screen, you will see where it says EXP. That is your experience bar. Take a close look at my numbers here. As you can see, I need 4,826,000 to level up now. I'm sitting at 3,793,286 to level up my character. Now, I'm missing, give or take, about 1,000,000 points here for level up here. Now, I'm going to swap to Doll now. While looking at Doll, if you take him, I'm a back forfeit. Keep your eye on that 286. Is it... Shut up, bitch. Is it a coincidence that their numbers is the exact same across the board? Hell no, it ain't. Everyone shares the same XP bar. So, fun fact, actually, you could literally go through this game and do this. So, when you go and put your characters together, I personally prefer doing is, I chose my characters. Like, Asuna is supposed to be on my team. Exchange the memory chips. When you exchange the memory chips, you want to get as high, like, get yourself as high as you can a regular XP chip. Even if you just randomly find them, I bought these two. But they're both sitting at 16.63. So the two 16 points will go and stack, and this will make about 32, 34-ish. Well, actually, it's like 33, actually, because you've got to round up the decimal stuff and all that extra shit. This is running about a 63%, or a 33% bonus to my XP, because she's welding both of these. Now, she's not, like, she's currently not on my team because my team swapped for story, But if you have your entire team running, XP boosters, Sachi is running at 18% and a 12% as shown. I'm gonna swap over. She doesn't got nothing. I forgot to swap her shit up. I don't have it no more. I swapped my stuff up. And Doll doesn't have it no more. I swapped her stuff out. Because I'm to the point that I'm almost max cap at level 300. I have 7 more levels to go. I can't necessarily level up no more. Like, my percentage boosters at this point, I am too high in my level to go and actually get, like, they come in handy, no doubt about it. But the problem is my enemies are to that point where I cannot afford to keep this up like this. Plus, I'm actually at the point where, despite being so high in level, I am strong enough to where I could hold my own now. To where if I wanted to keep it up, I can, but those memory chips do come in handy later in the road though. But I am going to now explain the differences in your status. So you have your strength, vitality, intelligence, agility, dexterity, and luck. Strength affects the gear weight, your and your ability to, like, how much damage you do with your melee, as well as it affects what guns you could weld. Vitality increases your resistance, your defense, and your maximum health points. It tells you at the bottom left, but I'm telling you in a more detailed manner than this does. Agility or intelligence affects the power of your gadgets. So, for instance, if you're running a, let's say, a first aid kit, what will happen is you will activate first aid kit, and it will go up. Your health will actually go up faster with this being higher. This will also allow your thing to recharge longer. Recharge faster, so that you can use it more often. Having high intelligence can be useful, depending on the build you have here. But it also does boost your status alignment attacks. And what it means by that is pretty much, let's say I have suppression on my guns, like I purposely put suppression on my guns. This will go and literally allow you to abuse suppression and constantly inflict suppression on your enemy. There are multiple alignments out here, like electricity, heat, all this other stuff. And by heat, I mean like fire, and there's more to go, but yeah. Now, agility, this covers a wide variety of things, but in all reality, it comes down to small percentages of boosts, but it's still very useful. But what this could do is, obviously, agility is going to increase your movement speed. On top of movement speed, this says weapon handling, but all it really means is like swapping your weapons. It makes it faster, reload speed faster. This also says steadiness of bullet circle, but don't go and try to up your agility for more bullet circle accuracy. There are memory chips to do that. So, yeah, this is just a add-on bonus. This also lightly increases your defense. Your dexterity increases your critical damage for both weak spots and crits. There is a difference between the two. Do not mistake the two. A weak spot is, let's say, your head. You are fighting a squad of enemy players in the game. You run into them, their weak spot is their head. However, you could shoot them in, let's say, the leg, and it'll pop up a critical. You could still get crits off of the weak spot, so keep that in mind. Critical is literally just like you got a good shot, whatever. It gives you bonus damages. There's nothing you can really do to go on. Critical chance is literally the critical chance. Get used to it. You could just guarantee, weak spots to do better criticals and to be a critical more often. On top of that, this makes your accuracy better. It says steadiness of the circle here, I don't know exactly what it means, but pretty much by the accuracy, this will make your circle get smaller. The smaller your circle, the more likely it is to go and pinpoint something to where when you're running and gunning with, let's say, an AR, it will target your thing with more precision. This also affects light gadget power. Same thing as your effects, but by effects, this is more for first aids, anti-alignments, other kits like that. Where the gadget power is more for your landmines, your whatever. Keep in mind, this is also, the intelligence is also for stuff like ignition knights, or knives, poison knives, etc, etc, etc. This also, dexterity is also the thing that requires you to weld guns. If you do not have dexterity, is the #1 stat you need for guns. If you don't have this dexterity, you do not have the gun. I say this because, yeah, strength and dexterity is everything you need to run the gun. Now, luck will increase your item drop rate, your quality of those dropped items, the rate of which you will get a critical. So when I shoot someone in the arm and you get that critical, this can make shooting an arm or body shot activate a critical more frequently. This will also increase your defense, as well as give you bonuses to your resistance to alignments like vitality. As you can tell, multiple stats share similar properties, like the intelligence and the dex with the gadget power, the luck and the vitality with the alignment, resistance, and so forth. But this is basic knowledge, but very important knowledge to go and remember as you build up your character. So, as you go through, you're obviously going to want to, you want to pick your stats correctly. Now, as you go through and you're leveling up, here is something that also matters. You don't just randomly be like, oh, well, I want to go and have... You cannot just go and be like, you know what, I want to go and constantly use my first aid kit and not be touched because my first aid kit's constantly healing me. That's cool, but before you do that, and, you know, you try to max it to 255. 255 is the max. Before you max cap it, your skills, it will say you will need requirements for each of these skills. Like, let's say for Power Form 1, I need to have the power or strength of 10. My stat needs to be 10 before I could weld Power Form 1. Once I go and get that, I use SP, which you can see in the upper right corner, to unlock it. And then those are skill points, and you're able to buy and use these skills. As you go up and use a skill, you will gain proficiency. Let's say you are using Orbital 1, or Dual Orbital 1. When you are using Orbital 1, let's say you use it but you miss. It still gains proficiency. You do not have to hit your target to gain more on your proficiency. You need to get your proficiency up to 50, 75, and then 100 to unlock the next form. So Form 1, 50, Form 2, 75, Form 3, you need it to 100, so Form 4, you could pull it out of your ass. And this goes for every form. So everything where you get the upgrade, like, when it says, like, for instance, when it says 1 right next to it, it can be upgraded. If it don't have nothing like your critical field or your curing field shot, this means it cannot be upgraded. Most of these do have increased boosters to it, but like Sentry Style, it also cannot be upgraded, and so forth. Hyper Awareness cannot be upgraded. So each skill can or cannot be upgraded depending on what you got. But this is going to be another crucial thing to go and figure out as you're running through. So as you could tell with, let's say, Power Form 4, you'll see it says Assault. My Power Form is an Assault skill. Armor is a Tank skill. Assault is Speed. Notice how it says Tank, Assault, whatever, and whatnot. These are your 6 classes. There is assault, destroyer, sniper, engineer, tank, and support. Almost everyone, I guarantee, is going to be an assault. Why I say this, especially for new players. A lot of people like running assault skills. When you run assault skills, it will put your character as an assault. You don't get to assign yourself a class. The game auto-assigns it depending on what you are running. So with that being said, I'm going to explain the differences between each of our roles here. Your assault class allows you to deal more damage. It is the upfront soldier, well balanced but damaged. You call? But assault allows you to be a basic, all-around good fighter. Front lines, and you deal more damage. Ideally, you are also faster. That's what the assault does. The destroyer gives you stuff like this is all about explosives, Gatling guns, and heavy weaponry. This will allow you to go and pretty much come through and quickly, like, the goal of the destroyer is pretty much just to use heavier weapons to go and trash and wipe out your enemies and grind through them. Now, the destroyer has very limited skills, so I mean the destroyer is, in my opinion, the worst set of the classes. Up next you will have the sniper with the least amount of items. The sniper is about staying hidden and having ridiculous accuracy along with ridiculous attack power. Everything you can get is about trying to go and stay hidden, keep your accuracy very nice to where you can literally just hip fire a sniper rifle and get a critical headshot. Like, no shit, you could 360 no scope this shit. Otherwise, when you are aiming down sights, your bullet line and all that stuff stays. Yeah, it literally hides you better, and it's got a lot of stuff, but it's all about keeping high power and trying to go and keep you hidden and alive. Your basic thing. Your engineer is basically support, but here's a defined difference. Support and engineer are both the support classes. What they should have named them both is support is actually medic. Engineer is gear related. So this is what it really does. So pretty much engineer, they go and do stuff to lower defense, attack power, as well as all around just kind of make it easier for the fighters of the game to take advantage and to nail down their opponent faster. That's their job, is to literally strengthen their opponent or strengthen their partner, reduce the opponent. They have countless items to do this and to give the fighters not an advance, like the edge in combat. They will go on and reduce all that other stuff to their opponents while helping everyone else out. That's what they do. In comparison, the support is all about healing and stuff like that. I'm going to correct myself. Engineer is all about using is all about gadgets and lowering down defense. They will hurt the defense. These guys are fighting supports is really what it comes down to. It's the best way to put it, so I don't make another mistake. They're fighting defenses. They all break the defense, break the power, stop them from using skills, as well as inflict alignments on their opponent. They're going to make life a pain in the ass for the player, but they are, because they gotta activate these skills first, it does take a second sometimes, and it makes them an ideal support, and they're better for ranged combat over up front. Where support, I'm gonna go over to support now, where support's all about boosting up your defense, your health, your attack. That's what the support does, is they'll play the medic as well as give you bonuses to your stats. Sorry. But that is what support does. They have countless ways to do it. So that's the support's just a medic. They're not even supposed to fight too much in comparison. They're supposed to play it safe and help everyone else out and make sure everyone else is doing fine. Where their tank is literally good, is exactly what it sounds like. They have the most defense, they hit hard, and yeah, they're a tank. I don't know any other way to say it. They're a fucking tank. Come on now. So each of these comes into play. So with how, I'm going to use my assault rifle here as an example here. You have support, tank, assault, destroyer. I am welding one of each class in my arsenal for my assault. So I will actually have no defined class here. Because I have one from everything, I am an all-around class. But in comparison though, let's use my my Gatling gun now. I have 3 sniper class pieces. 1, 2, 3. I am a sniper class here. That is what my class is. That's what I'm capable of doing. And then I have my assault skill. But if it is, let's say, another situation, sniper, destroyer, tank. I am a tank class. You need 2 skills to go and become a particular class. If you have 2, you will go and be split between those 2 classes. When you are split, you don't get the advantages of both of them. It will give you the advantages of one of them. So, with that being said, don't try to go and put it like sprawled out like my SM or my AR and be everything at once, because I'm not going to have a defined class. Now, here's how it also goes. It will also go and count both weapons you are currently welding. Like for my sniper and my assault rifle or submachine gun, as can be seen here, I have assault, destroyer, and support. My sniper rifle, sniper, tank, assault. I'm going to be considered an assault class because I have 2, 3 different things. But I also got nothing here to support and back up my tank, sniper. So I will be considered assault in this situation, meaning I deal more damage. And I'm supposed to be front line given my arsenal. So depending on, you have to have the most of a particular class if that's the class you want. So you can't just be like, I want to be an assault, but have all support items. You're gonna have to find a way to match that up somehow. But, I mean, this doesn't exactly help out choosing your classes, but your gadgets actually come into a big play here. Because let's say you do want to play as an assault. You want to go through, you want to play an assault, but you want to focus on giving some good heals and stuff like that. Or you want to be an assault with, how you doing, Cammy? You want to be an assault, but you want to also have engineer-like qualities. So you can pack a bunch of different grenades. How you doing, Fluffy? My precious girl. How you doing? How you doing, Cammy? Go on. Drop the attitude, bitch. No one asked you. Who's my fluffy puppy? Don't shake your head no at me. But let's say, like I was saying, though, you could go and mix match your items to have supportive stuff like the AR veil, or you could go and put more assault-like qualities like melee booster. You could put sniper-like stuff like material camouflage on there. Resurrection kit for more of a medic. It's just, you could use your gadgets to help make up and to kind of give you that extra edge. For the most part, they don't really do much, but I mean, what I mean by that is it doesn't decide too much about how your class is perceived, but I mean, it does help out a lot in combat. And obviously, you could have different sets. I'm running a basic set. This set is more or less for for a better support. Like, this is what I call my support setup. So, but then we come over to your equipment and all that other stuff, and you could change your accessories, your weapons, all that other stuff. I'm going to display different types of handguns here. This goes across the board for all weapon types here, so don't worry about it. Like don't worry, I'll teach you. So pretty much long stroke type Z. This is a nice looking handgun. As you can tell, I customized my look to it. Whenever you see a player with, like, let's say a type Z weapon as shown with my handgun, it has that blue in it. In my SMG, I turn this one pink. It's got a blue tint to it. Any weapon with blue is a type Z because it cannot be customized. So any player you see running around with a gun with a blue in it like this, you can immediately tell they are running a type Z weapon. Each weapon class has a type Z. Every weapon has type Z. Maybe not the rocket launcher, I don't know. But each weapon does have type Z in their thing. But one thing I can guarantee for sure though, with each class, you will run through and you will find different marks. Like, this is a mark 4, this is 3. Each weapon will always have the following. They will have the name, like lightning. Mark, that is your name, is lightning, that's the name of the gun. And then mark 4, this is the 4th variation. The higher the variation, the better you'll do. So let me go and organize this by name real quick. Let me actually go, this is the same exact gun here across the board. So, same exact gun, but this is a Mark 1, Mark 2 variant. Since this is the 2, you can tell that's that. Anyways, moving on. Pretty much though, like I was saying, is when you have a different mark, odds are, not guaranteed, but odds are, you will get a superior attribute. Like, it will be superior to the previous. As you can see, my optimal power jumps up by nearly double. The higher your weapon rank is, like, your weapon rank can be found at the upper part of my left box. Shut the fuck up, you dirty fucking hoe. But pretty much, weapon rank literally does nothing. It just tells you how rare your weapon is. That's it. All weapon rank does is tell you how rare your gun is. So, for instance, my type, like, the higher it is, like, yeah, this is a common weapon. This is actually a very common weapon to see. You will easily find the SPZ Night Sky everywhere. You will always find a Night Sky for literally everything you do. You'll always find one. But, like, but as you can tell, with my, thing, with even this common's physical power outdoes this rare. It's just a rarer quality, thus giving you better stats. And that's all weapon rank does. It says, hey, this is a rare weapon, this has got more of a rare set of, this has got better stats all around. This is the better weapon to use, is all weapon rank says, or it tells you you got a rare weapon. That's all weapon rank does. So when you see a high weapon rank like give me an 11. Okay, bam. Here are two weapon ranks. Damn. Okay, moving on before I keep reading these stupid messages. But as you can see, these are both weapon rank 11. And they're both long strokes. This is type 4. Shut up. This is type Z. Notice how one, like, this literally damn near doubles the power. I will also admit I have stuff barely boosting my attack here, but still. What the fuck are these? I swear to goodness. I'm getting spammed about nonsense. Okay, you know what? Fuck you guys. But like I was saying before, these assholes rudely broke my concentration and my train of thought. But just because you have a higher type, like a higher weapon rank, doesn't necessarily make this better. Because look, 700 power, and here is a weapon rank 10. This has more power than my shown here at 700. Hell, this white has more power than my thing, and this is only uncommon. So don't judge something because it's a legendary or whatnot. This is a legendary. There's multiple things to keep in factor while choosing your weapons. It's not just about the weapon rank, the physical power, or your rarity of the weapon. Because fun fact, actually, I went through something like a DLC called the Abyssal Dungeon. Pain in my ass, full-fledged, fucking. It was a pain in the ass to go through all 50 levels. But while going through it, I am not even joking. I used a white, an uncommon. For a good majority of that, I ran through with a uncommon or a common shotgun. All rarity means is for uncommon, you will have no memory chips. Or common, no memory. Uncommon, you'll have like 2 memory chips. For rare, you will have 3 to 4. For epic, 5 to 6. Legendary, 7 to 8. See how this goes now. The rarity just tells you, hey, you'll have more memory chips. Not that your gun will actually be better. Because as you can see, same weapon type. These are both the same weapon type. Like, across the board, they have the same power. They have the same rank. They have the same... Everything's the same. This is a legendary. This has more memory chips. This is an epic. This has less. That's the only difference between any of your guns. Like, that's the only fucking difference between your rarities of your weapons. And your weapon rank also had little to nothing to go and do with this. Once again, same exact gun. Or same thing, same rarity, they had the same memory chips. Now, notice how there's 1 less on this one, despite being epic. It's just the luck of the poll. There's nothing you could really do besides go to Argo to guarantee a more likely chance. And like I said, a likely chance. Everything in this game is chance. But this will go and give you a better shot about getting a weapon that is got legendary across the board and just has superior stats. But like I said, so each weapon has a weapons art that can be used for to your advantage. So handguns allow you faster recharge rate on everything. Like, it comes back ridiculously quick. By the time you're done using, let's say, a healing bullet, activating the animation, it'll pull up your animation. And then let's say you want to use another healing shot, right? You want to use the field this time, or you're trying to use your power form 1. By the time you're done with the animation to either of those, it's already back. Quick regen. Same thing with your gadgets. This affects gadgets too. Your shotguns will give you a very powerful blast, hitting everything that's directly in front of it. Your submachine gun will do multiple slashes, and it'll give you like explosive like shots. Like it'll give you a special bullet type for the animation, and they'll go and do slashes, dealing damage across the board at a high rate. Assault rifles, what will happen with them is once you activate your weapon arts, it will give you special bullet type for a time being. It's an explosive fire bullet. It has an explosive impact, but it's dealing fire alignment. Not any like actual explosives, but does fire alignment. Your sniper rifle will give you... Would you fucking shut the hell up? The sniper rifle will give you one shot at any time you would like to use your shot. You cannot use a power shot. You cannot use any skills. Like, you have to activate your skills beforehand, and then you have to go and use that shot. So let's say I activate my weapon arts, and then I decide to throw in a armor break shot. The second I use armor break, it cancels out my shot. But once you get that shot, it will give you an insanely powerful sniper bolt that hits like an anti-tank rifle, and it will blast through everything with ridiculous power. Granted, I'm not saying it's gonna one-shot everything, because, oh lord, no, it didn't. But it definitely can hit, pierce, and fuck up everything in their line of sight. Your Gatling gun, if I'm not mistaken, I don't actually remember. If I'm to be honest, I don't actually remember. It's been so long since I've used the Gatling gun on the game, so don't quote me on that one, but I want to say it will give you like another boost, kind of like how the handgun gives you a passive boost. I want to say the Gatling gun does the same. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember for sure. But the launcher gives you another powerful shot. And when it gives you a powerful shot, once it shoots, it's just like the sniper. It will give you one bolt or one shot, but depending on the weapon you're using, it will break that missile apart, kind of like it's like a shotgun shell, and like a real life shotgun. You have your shotgun shell, and it's got compressed with multiple like pellets inside that shell. Once you go and light that bullet off and shoot it, the multiple pellets inside the shell will burst out. That's how a shotgun works. That's how the bullet works. So once it shoots out, it's like this. A bunch of grenades will come out of your shell of that grenade or rocket launch, like rocket shot you used. Swords. There is 2 weapon arts for your swords. You have weapon arts for sword and sword gun. When both of these will give you a special attack combo. And by that, I mean your character will dash forward, and after it dashes, like he or she dashes forward, I'm gonna just say he, because Retro is a dude. Like, you get to dash forward, and you will spam attack, like you will spam with devastatingly powerful attacks. And it will just, you will hit them, and it won't actually hurt them until the animation is done. Like, you'll do damage, like you'll do like, let's say 2,000 damage. I'm just throwing out a number at the top of my head. Like, you'll throw out damage, but when it's done, it will give like an extra effect where it will blast up that damage, kind of like one of those awesome anime fights where you hit multiple times, and like you just hit multiple times, and the effects, like you hit them so fast that you could literally swing multiple times or whatever, and it's like it doesn't actually hit until you're done swinging, and once it's done, that's when everything comes into hit. Now the sword or the gun sword combo combines you with your gun, and it will allow you to start shooting, and you'll start swinging for your animation. And it does this fancy little thing where you're using both your gun and your sword. Fancy pantsy shit there. But besides that, I mean, there's not too much about the weapons in particular I could tell you at this point. And there's not much I can really guide you about how to correctly play this. As far as I am concerned, I am well versed in every weapon type there is on this game. I could use every single one of these and be more than fine in combat. But not everyone prefers to, let's say, use a sniper rifle. Is not everyone's forte. Not everyone likes going hand to hand with the melee. That's fine. And I anticipate that, and that's why I'm not going into depth about the best skills to use or whatever. Because I play a tank role. Retro is a tank, and my goodness, when I say he's a tank, he will take your shot to the fucking face, stand there, and he's going to look at you unimpressed, brush off the side of his cheek, and he's going to ask for another. He is a devastating foe with a lot of power. I also could use multiple weapons to go and help me out, but let's say, for the sake of it, I mean, like, there's sets of, like, everyone, like, that's just how diverse and how specific you could get with this game, is even with the recommendations of this guide. I can't actually guide you through to be the best tank in the game. Because in order to do that, you will have to get the exact gun. Like, let's say, it is shown that at the moment I'm using my AMR TMAT Type Z sniper rifle along with my SPB Type Zs. Obviously, this is like, this is a fair weapon that I use. Like, it's ridiculous. As you can see, it has high attack on both of these, and my defense is an impressive thing. But as far as I'm concerned, this style only reflects on how I could play in combat. It does not, you cannot expect two players to fight the exact same. Especially given my gadget set is also in play here. My actual skills, as of that, like my status skills, in order to play exactly like me, you must copy my thing. You must study how I like to fight to go and fight just like me. And I'm not going to go and stand here or to, sit here unnecessarily be like, well, this is how I play. No. That is not what we do. That is not how it is. This is just tips, pointers, tricks, and every little bit of knowledge I know about this game to make this easier for returning players and new players of the like. So with that being said, I cannot go down into weapon specifics and stuff like that. I can tell you, on the other hand, that you have multiple forms of guns, though. All the way down from, you got, for the most part, usually there is 3 gun stages. You have tier Mark 1, 2, then 3. A lot of guns sometimes have Mark 4 tier. Not all of them do. However, it is a possibility. There's also an EX tier, making the gun on a different level. You also have the more common Type Z. Type Zs are supposedly the best in the game. But Type Z is, I want to say, one step above EX, because Type Z cannot be customized any higher, where the EX has a plus, meaning it was boosted up. Now, I want to say they might actually be on same level here, because as shown, my assault rifle here has a lot of stuff boosting its attack, and a lot of stuff to boost up my ability here, in comparison to this assault rifle, which is all over the place and obviously not customized to my liking. I just kept it because, yeah, I'm a greedy ass bitch, sue me. But with that being said, you have multiple forms, and they have multiple tiers. Now, this is a part of the game that a lot of people do not explain that I am going to explain that will make life a hell of a lot easier. Where would I like to go? Kitty Toe's room. In Kitty Toe's room, there are 2 players in game that will make life a hell of a lot easier. And I do mean a hell of a lot easier. In order to get your gun the way you want it, I will explain how to go and transform your gun into the perfect fighting machine. Because I guarantee anyone who comes in my path, I will fuck you up. I'm not even joking. Unless if you're a cheater, I can't do nothing about it. But regular enemies, like regular players, I will fuck up in this game. Most players do not stand a chance against my might. But these 2 are your best friends for this game. You got a Gale and Elizabeth right here. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna keep making you look at me. But moving on. These 2 are your best friends because you could go up to him. His only use... Shut the fuck up. Get off my screen. Is you get to appraise items for a certain price. As you can see, I could appraise everything for about 2 million. And you could go through and you could kind of just get the feel for... Shut up! And you could get a feel for each weapon. So as you could see, for appraising the items, here are some tips and tricks about appraising items. Now, don't judge a weapon based off of the rank. You can, so don't, here is a way you could here is a way you could actually get away with knowing what gun you are dealing with without actually having to spend the money here. Because as you can see in the right side of the screen, it will say my shotgun, or, alright, let's see. I'm gonna keep scrolling down until I find something I like. This puppy right here. I guarantee you that this is an energy weapon. This is an optimal attack weapon. This is going to be one of those fancy ones with the, these are going to be one of those fancy things. And I will be right back, actually. Right there, Q. Where's my special girl? Alright, sorry about that. But moving on, like I was saying. Alright, what was I saying? Alright, like I was saying though, this shotgun here is an optimal attack. This, I guarantee you, is a peacock shotgun. What rank, I don't, or not rank, but what stage, is it a Mark II, Mark III? I cannot guarantee that until I go and transform it, but I will promise you it is a peacock shotgun. How you doing, Fluffy Puppy? Where's my Fluffy girl? You are. Oh my. No, that shouldn't be said on live TV, baby girl. You know, I don't give a shit. Of course you don't. But like I said, guarantee this is this is guaranteed to be a peacock shotgun, and peacock 4+, enjoy. Now, the next thing you're about to say is, but Retro, how did you know? I'm gonna tell you exactly how I knew. Alright, so going over. So, as we can see, same exact, this is also a peacock shotgun. Notice the ammo capacity? That's 20. Semi-auto. Shotgun type EP. Effective range. All that stats on the side, the optimal attack tells you exactly what it is. Like this, Retro is going to go and use his magic trick of saying, this is actually a Valkyrie shotgun. No, that's a God's breath, never mind. Shit. I don't remember every weapon type by heart. This is a... I don't remember every particular type of weapon. I cannot also predict a Gatling gun. But I mean, this is a Valkyrie shotgun. There we go. I clicked the wrong one then. I knew that I thought I seen it was on a I thought I seen it was on a the 7 bullet, but I knew that it was Valkyrie because of the 7 shots. Each weapon has a base stats. So if I was to go through, and I'm going to go over to my gadgets here, or my equipment here. So like my these are all very different machine guns. Looking at the power and the rank, or the rank's all the same. Don't mind that. But notice how 64, 64, 64, 66. That was only upped because it has ammo capacity booster. 64, 64. Notice how their effective range, but that one is also a little higher. That's because of that memory chips. Just because I cannot see it does not mean I cannot predict it. Let's see. Here's another Drakel. Completely different this time, but same. It's got the same thing across the board. Any Drakel, despite being actually differently named at the bottom, are all the same. The Spiral Shadows. Every single weapon type has its particular set of ammo in it. A particular set of fire rate, the bullet type, the range. Once you start seeing this enough, you'll start to know the difference. And you'll be able to predict your move before you could actually buy it. So let's say if you know, for instance, if there is a handgun, like that 20 shot handgun, I want to say it was an SPB. I almost guarantee that was an SPB. Or, yeah, it was an SPB. I know it's an SPB. So if I was to come in, I just checked out. Alright, let's go to handgun. Alright, what is that? 20 shot. Yep, this is an SPB. Told you. You could go and easily go and take a look at the guns you already own. And you could go and guess which one you're about to buy. Now, I am going to, for the sake of this video, I'm wasting 2 million for this. To go and make a point. Here's an EX, and then EX Plus, same gun. So EX Plus is not on the same tier as Type Z. Type 4s, Mark II, Plus. Obviously weapons all over the board. Not bad. No, that's better. That's what I'm talking about. But as you can see, weapons from all over the board. That's all he does is appraise. You can save money by figuring out and learning your guns and learning each of the differences between your gun types so you could go and get the best you could get without having to waste the money. I still like buying them all out because Elizabeth here she's the main one you want. A Gale is a good support, but Elizabeth, shut up. So with Elizabeth, she's the one who will modify your gun to make it the dream team attack. It will make you and your gun become the best friends in the world, let me tell you. So there's 3 stages to her weapon alterations. You have enhance, transform, and overclock. Now, I'm going to go in depth about this. This is going to be one of the most confusing parts about this game, because players come over here, they go to deal with all this, and they waste so much money, so much time, materials, and they are doing it for what? Because you don't understand what you're doing, because people put these quote-quote guides online. This is how you do it. They combine shit. It's like, okay, you can combine shit. What the fuck did you do, though? I will explain shot for shot. I will explain every single thing you need to know about Elizabeth's workshop. This is where returning players, professional players, and I'm calling out quote-quote professionals because I've seen a lot of level 300s with shit equipment. Let me tell you, you guys are sad. But, like I was saying, I'm calling everyone out here who don't understand it, of everyone across the board. This is a full-fledged how to deal with Elizabeth's workshop. Alright, so for enhancing your weapon, shut up, bitch. For your enhanced weapons, how this works is I'm going over my handguns here. As you can see, I have a handgun in each category. A blue, red, a common, everything. So as you can see, you can enhance any weapon at any stage. Or not at any stage, but let me be a little more specific here. You can enhance any weapon depending on its weapon rank. So you could go and sort by name, power, rarity, etc, etc, etc. That's unimportant. This is unimportant. So at the moment, what you want to do is when you are looking through your guns and you want something, like let's say for instance I'm looking through, oh man, I really like this Lightning Mark IV right here, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm not too fond of the memory chips here. I'ma just, you know, go through, hey, never mind, I'm liking this beta. I like calling them betas, it's a lot easier. Or if I'm going through and I'm trying to find, I like the Asuka. Fuck you, I can't even pronounce that. Where's a weapon that's suitable for this? Okay, I need a suitable weapon. You know what, fine, I'll use this, fine, fuck you. So let's use what they are better, alright? Or my Mark II, I'm gonna call it Mark II here, just for the hell of it. So I'm like, you know, I'm liking this gun, I want this, I could use the stats, you know. It's looking prime time for me. I really want to use this. So if how weapon upgrades are, is you're gonna go on you'll see the pricing to it. The pricing, don't worry about it. Money's easy to get on this game. Don't worry about price. You're gonna click your gun, and you're going to notice immediately. You're going to notice your optimal power here jumps up. All right. You will have 3 different ways you could go and upgrade this. There is no difference in any of the. There's no differences between how you upgrade it. Formula 1, 2, and 3, they all are the same. Altogether, they are the same. It's just the amount of, it's the materials required. Like, the number 1 takes the less amount of stuff in this case. but it's also the hardest to find these materials too. Plus, like, literally, this has the extra bad case because it's the exact same thing across the board. Almost the exact same thing. But certain parts are easier and rarer to find, or if you, is literally just the materials used, to put it simply. Just so I don't overcomplicate and over-explain this, is about the materials used. That's it. That's the only difference between these formulas. Because obviously, I mean, I could click this 15 or 508, 508. Notice how there's no change at all in the differences. It's just the materials used. But I am for sure, for one thing, when you upgrade the guns, when you're enhancing your gun, let's say you're not happy with your gun and you want it to get a little stronger, here are some things to keep in mind. You have to keep this in mind. Number one, when you go and upgrade it, your weapon rank goes up. Notice how it went from weapon rank 5, weapon rank 6. Number 2, strength is a required. Strength and dexterity are 2 required stats. This one requires 24, 16. If you upgrade your weapon, it's a guarantee. You must upgrade your stats with it. So if you're upgrading your weapon, this is no longer 26, 16, or 24, 16. This is now 30, 20. And one more thing that goes up with this is your weight. Notice how the weight goes from 136 166. These 4 separate things are always going to change during weapon upgrades. Now, the last thing you must know about weapon upgrades and enhancing your weapons, besides like your formulas, which is important, which, you know, that's that, the last thing you must know is, as you can see, your weapon rank don't matter. Or your weapon rarity does not matter. Like I said, your rarity only deals with how many memory chips you hold. You could have the shittiest gun, the common, and it still will hit just as hard as your legendary. Actually, good example. Let me sort this by name here. These are both the, good example here. All 4 of these are the same gun. Legendary, this hits harder. All your quality is your memory chips. But while upgrading, here's something you need to keep in mind. You could only upgrade a particular weapon twice, and twice only. So for my handgun here, I'm upgrading it from a 5. I don't care. I'm a waste of resources. Bam. Upgrading it once. Bam. Alright. Now, notice how there's a 2 plus. That plus means it's been upgraded once. I'm going to go back through. Notice how it goes to weapon rank 2. I'm going to once again. Bam. Weapon rank 7. Notice how it's not up here no more? You could upgrade it only twice. 2 times. So upgrade it carefully. Do not just upgrade your gun and upgrade your gun. Another thing to keep in mind here. I want my legendary. You could upgrade it to rank 11. I'm not doing this one. I don't want to waste the materials for this one. Alright, fuck you. Jeez. Jeez. Do I not have... Hot damn. Please. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make my point with this gun. Rank 10, right? Here's my rank 10 weapon. I'm upgrading it to, my next capacity. Now, watch out, it's rank 11. I'm gonna use it, and I've only upgraded this once. Proceed. So. Notice how my common is gone now? I should have a rank 11 up here on my board. Because it's at the maximum rank, every time you upgrade a weapon... Shit. Oh, excuse me. Every time, if you can't tell, all the weapons up here are rank 11 less. You cannot upgrade any weapon rank 11 less. So, with that being said, I should have upgraded this for her, son of a bitch. Fuck me. But as you can see, every weapon up here 11 or less. You cannot upgrade a weapon past rank 11. That is the fundamentals of enhancing a weapon. Now, moving on to transform weapons. Oh, excuse me. Transforming weapons, this is where it's going to get confusing. This is where it's really going to start it's going to start messing with your head. This is where a lot of people start getting confused, and they're like, whatever, I'm fine with what I got. Or they'll go and try to modify their gun, and they're going to mess it up. I am going to tell you and teach you, step by step, detailed explanation, with the best way to not only upgrade, but how to do it effectively, cheaply, and the best way so you can know and learn how to do it, the best ways to do it, so there's no problem, because I'm tired of dispatching little kids on here who don't know how to fight, or who have inferior weapons in comparison to my own, because they don't have memory chips. Memory chips is the essence to making and breaking your gun, or sword. So I'm going to tell you every little thing you need to know about this, and it's going to go into full depth detail, and it's going to be a fucking headache. I'm not even going to lie, it's a headache, but I'm going to explain this the best method I can. So if you want to follow along, I don't really give a shit. If you want to do this to your own shit as you watch me, I don't really give a shit. That's what this is for. Alright, so as you can see, I do have all my guns are now here. Every last gun I own, handgun wise, is here. I'd have no restrictions now. I am going to go and start off with I'm starting off with my assault rifle. My Reaper Type Z. I'm going to click X on this. Notice how there's no symbol. Notice how there's a chronological in the blue in the middle of my screen. The upper-ish middle of my screen, it'll say chronological. It'll have a diamond. 6. I click that. I'm going to click it. Notice how it's gone, but it says total 5500 diamond 6. Same exact thing here. That is your price and your chips. In the upper right hand corner, you will also see a orange chip, the same chip that's on the total at my, in my total bar. That is called your transformation chips. You can use transformation chips to go and transform your gun. If you do not have enough, you cannot transform. The yellow is your overclock or your unlock chip. Notice how there's that yellow chip on your right next to those. And if you go to my memory chips here, let's say right here, because you can do this, like let's say I'm going to use this gun as an example to start with. Like, as you can see, it's a very nice gun. I have a fair amount of chips on it. It's worth upgrading. I'm going through, and let's say I'm like, you know what? I want to deal extra. I want to have a higher magazine capacity. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to go through, and I'm going to find one of these that has ammo capacity on it. You could go to your R2, or you could go to your memory chip filter. I cannot tell you the controls to it, but check the bottom of your screen. It usually tells you. Just saying, don't ask how to do it, just read. But you could go through, I want ammo capacity, bam, ammo capacity. Oh, this is the only other thing to have ammo capacity on it. Notice how the gun I selected is not up there. Oops. Go back to the assault rifle. Notice how my gun, once I go back over there, you can see it has the check mark saying that's that. My gun is not up there. And it has different memory chips. But for the sake, let's use this gun right here. For the sake of the game, here is the basis. You're gonna see I have 3 chips highlighted blue. 1, 2, 3. That is because on the gun that I am taking and transferring from has the same exact 3 chips. Number one mistake people do when learning to transform. They will unlock their chip, and they will put the amount you're gonna get. They're gonna put humanoids over the humanoids to boost it up. Do not, under any circumstance, do not unlock your chip to put that on. Because I'm not gonna alter nothing. I'm going to pause it to go and confirm the transformation. Notice how my memory chips went up despite the fact I never touched it. The reason why they highlight blue is because of saying these are like memory chips. They will immediately stack. They will immediately stack. Do not buy this out. Unlock this chip if you are going to put the same thing on it. It is a waste of your chip, your money, and on top of that, it is the waste of your slot. Each weapon has up to a total of 8 chips. Depending on how many chips you have, depends on how many you can unlock. If you were able to unlock every memory chip, this game will have a lot, and I do mean a lot, of fucking overpowered shitheads running around. You cannot unlock every memory chip. You could only unlock 4 on a gun at max. So, let me explain this. I have 6 on this gun, and only 6 on this gun. Let's say, for the sake of it, I'm gonna use a different gun here. Let's go with, let me take off my filter here, and let me get a higher rarity. I'm going to get the highest rarity for you guys. I'm going to uselessly upgrade my legendary here. Not that. Actually, bingo. I will upgrade my dragon killer right here. It's a semi-automatic sniper rifle. I'm going to upgrade it. As you can see, this already has some chips unlocked. This is good for this example. Not always, but this is good. I am going to go and, oops. I'm going to tag this up with, let's go with my, let's go with the Maniac here. It's a useless gun in my eyes. I'm going to be trashing both of these anyways. So I'm going through, okay. I have a total of 8 chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 chips. I'm going to literally act as if you are mentally retarded now. I'm going to treat you like a toddler now. I am going to fucking treat you so bad and so stupid and explain this in such dummy terms to where even the stupidest motherfuckers will understand this. Sue me, report me, I don't care for calling y'all dumb. That's the point of this, is to be treated like you're stupid so you could get smarter. But I'm going to explain this now. You have 8 chips on my gun. All 8. I already counted them for you. When you are dealing with locked memory chips, which is the one with the yellow, these are locked. You could change these freely, as many times as you like, with no repercussion. But when there is a lock on it, you must unlock the chip. When you have 8 memory chips, you are allowed to have only 4. Only 4 unlocked. You cannot unlock more than that. You will only have half and only half of your memory chips unlocked. No less than half, or no more than half.